Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel Olson. I'm a marketing representative with UTA. Today, my coworker, Wendy Karsh, who works in our special services department focusing on Vanpool, will also be presenting. So we're excited to get the word out about our different products and programs that are available to businesses, nonprofits, educational institutions here along the Wasatch Front, to get people out of their cars and onto UTA in all of its forms, whether it be bus, tracks, front runner, paratransit, or vanpool. So with that in mind, I will now just turn the time over to Wendy, who is going to go into greater detail and discuss and educate everyone about our vanpool products. Wendy?
Good morning, everyone. UTA Rideshare has a staff of 9 people who help manage the day-to-day operations. In addition to Vanpool, you can see the other modes of transportation that we encourage and support. We work in concert with our marketing representatives, Daniel, and there are several others who do the same things that we do, and we provide outreach. So these are some year-end statistics from 2016. To put this into perspective, Mars is 49 million miles from Earth. So last year our Vanpool participants traveled to Mars, if you want to look at it that way. As with other transit modes, passenger participation is counted as one-way trip segments. Imagine the increase in congestion if each one of these trips was taken in a single occupancy vehicle. The amount of foreign matter that didn't get put into the air we breathed last year would weigh as much as this little guy and 16 of his friends. The different types of vanpools that we offer are the traditional, the shuttle, and Ride Van Plus. Typically, traditional vanpools meet at a specified location and may make a stop or two along the way to the same destination each day. Shuttles are sponsored by employers who want to transport employees from one location to another. Sometimes these will make multiple trips during the day, depending on the number of employees that need to be transported. Ride Van Plus is a first mile, last mile solution that incorporates a pass to use on buses and trains with the vanpool fare included. The van is usually parked near a bus stop or train station and takes the group the last leg of the trip on the van. The reverse is also possible if the group wanted to take a van from a neighborhood to a transit stop. This is the fare matrix for traditional vanpools and shuttles that we have currently. You can see that we base our cost on the number of miles that the van would travel each day, and then the rest is just a breakdown of how much it would cost each person to participate. Typically, the vanpool shuttle is sponsored by an employer. This is our Ride Van Plus breakdown. There are 2 different options for groups of individuals who want to do a Ride Van Plus, or people who participate through their employer with the EcoPass option. Daniel will talk to you about that a little more later. By including the fare for transit and vanpool, Ride Van Plus provides a significant discount to employers and individual participants. Currently, we have 23 of those vans in operation. So the items that are included with the vanpool are maintenance, which includes the oil changes every so often, plus any repairs that the van would need. And if the van is in for repairs, loaner vans are provided at the service locations. Insurance is also included. We insure the van pools and the authorized drivers on the vans to operate the vehicles. We provide a fuel card for each of the vans, and fuel. There are quite a few locations along the Wasatch Front where you can get fuel with that fuel card. We also provide a guaranteed ride home as a safety net in case of emergencies or unscheduled overtime situations like that. Currently, we have two van sizes available. Our full-size vans will seat from 11 to 15 people, and the minivans will seat up to 7. We're going to be probably testing out some other van configurations with a few groups to see if we can fit the groups that have a size between either the minivan or the full size. So if you're really excited about Vanpool at this point, you may have a few questions about how you contribute to the success of the program. We ask you to have the van serviced according to the scheduled maintenance. We ask you to track the number of people in the van each day going to and from work and tracking the monthly mileage. And that's reported through our website, our reporting website. We also ask you to keep in touch to notify us of changes to the route, which would possibly alter the mileage and the payment for the Vanpool, and the number of people that are in the van coming and going. So how do you get started with a Vanpool? The cost of the van can be subsidized wholly or in part by the employer. If an employer chooses to sponsor a Vanpool, the levels of involvement can be tailored to the particular situation. If an employer signs a contract with UTA, the duration can be from 2 months to several years, depending on the situation. The responsibility for ridership reporting in this case usually lies with a company representative. A company representative will also make sure the maintenance activities are completed by an authorized van driver. If a partial subsidy works better, the employer can choose to cover part of the payment and the employee can cover the rest through payroll deduction. Some employers choose to provide the funds for the Vanpool, but the responsibility for the day-to-day operation remains with the group. In this case, the employer doesn't sign a contract. There are flexible spending account options that would provide fair media for commuter benefits. Unlike other components of cafeteria plans, there isn't a year-long commitment for those. So if a group of individuals wants to establish a new Vanpool, it's pretty simple. We just collect the routing information and an agreement from each participant, which outlines the terms and conditions of being part of a Vanpool, and driver applications. Drivers are required to go through training, and we review their driver history to ensure they meet our driver selection standards.
Hello?
Uh-oh. This thing hangs up after a while. Great. We're batting 1,000 here, Daniel.
You're doing really good.
What's the number? What's the number?
This
Can
is
you
the one
redial?
I've been trying out for years.
That's terrible.
Where is the redial?
Is there a redial? I don't know if there is.
Welcome to CenturyLink conferencing. Please enter your passcode followed by the pound or hash key. Please hold while I confirm your passcode. Thank you. Your passcode is confirmed. When you hear the tone, you will be the 13th person to join the meeting.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties here at UTA. We apologize for that. So,
We've had a bunch of those this morning.
a bumpy ride.
We'll get through it.
A bumpy ride, no pun intended. That's my transit joke for the day. So, yeah, we'll let.
So I'm not sure where we ended off, but just start where you think you are, Wendy.
Okay, I think I was talking about the drivers being required to meet our driver selection standards, and then the other thing that is pretty important is participants should provide advance notice of moving to a different van pool or discontinuing participation, so we maintain the billing accuracy and the fair distribution among the vanpool group. We go through an online billing provider to collect payments, so each person will receive an individual account number and access to the payment system once the vanpool has been established. And the payments are due on the 5th of every month for the month's participation, so we bill ahead. So how do you pay for the vanpool? So as I mentioned, we have an online payment provider, and payments are submitted through that third party's website. Credit and debit cards are accepted, as well as electronic fund transfers can be established through that online payment provider as well. If it's a company-sponsored vanpool, they're typically invoiced individually, but they can also pay through that online payment provider. Excuse me. And the pre-tax options, as I mentioned earlier, you can do it the savings account, or some employers provide the benefit as part of their benefit package. Payments can be, vanpool payments can be through payroll deduction as well. The employer could decide to provide a level of sponsorship that just includes doing a pre-tax option and sending the payment on behalf of the employees and letting them take care of everything else on their own.
All right, that kind of covers the vanpool portion, and just kind of, once again, big picture when we discuss our vanpool, programs and the options. Here along the Wasatch Front, we deal with, issues of density, and I mean, it's one thing when we're talking about moving people on rail or bus in downtown Salt Lake or near rail stations, but when you think about a lot of the industrial areas west of I-15 or the south-west pocket of the Salt Lake Valley, and then even some locations up on the East Bench, from Provo to Ogden, there's a lot of pockets that just aren't serviced with enough frequency by fixed bus route or rail. So vanpool is a really good option to consider if you're in these type of areas for your last mile connection between bus or rail, or as Wendy explained, just kind of the traditional vanpool of moving people that live in a concentrated neighborhood to their place of business. Next up, I'm going to go over what we have available in the world of product development and sales. I am the team I'm on, it consists of 5 marketing representatives that manage our corporate, our nonprofit, and our educational pass partners. We are also, sorry, for some reason it's moving on me, I apologize. We're tasked with, creating and building community relationships and supporting ridership initiatives, all with the end game of growing ridership out on UTA. And we do that by developing and marketing the pass products that are available to businesses and educational institutions. Like I mentioned before, our passes are available through corporations, to nonprofits, educational partners, and then even developers, building owners, and TOD partners. TOD meaning transit-oriented development partners. We have a handful of those right now going up at a few of our rail stations in the Sandy, Draper, and West Jordan part of town. All of our passes are guided by the UTA fare policy, meaning that we want to be equitable with what the current individual cash rider pays on a daily basis. And we've really tried to model our new program so that there's equity across the board while incentivizing these programs by offering a steep discount to employers or schools that step up to the plate and sponsor one. Another thing to keep in mind with all of our pass programs is these are all electronic fare media. So these are all electronic tap-on and tap-off passes. No longer do you have to worry about the administrative burden of distributing passes on a monthly basis or lost and theft. If you were to lose a paper pass, it's gone and you're out the dollar amount that's paid for that pass each month. So all of the programs I'm going to discuss here momentarily are all electronic fare media that you can tap on and tap off. Another plug for electronic fare media is that it enables UTA to have really sound ridership data so that we can track where we need to increase service or decrease service based on actual ridership. We're not trying to play Big Brother, but we need to know where people are traveling to and from, and by moving people off of cash and coin and paper passes, we're able to get a better picture of our ridership. The programs that we market and sell to businesses and nonprofits and schools here are our annual preferred, our annual select, a monthly, a daily option, and then our UTA Fair Pay card. I'm just going to kind of go in and explain all of these programs, and then at the end we'll have kind of a Q&A to go over each one. Our annual preferred requires 100% participation. I know that may raise a lot of red flags, but it's due to the price point that we set the cost at, which is $392 a year per employee for an unlimited pass that allows you to take front runner, tracks, bus. It excludes ski, Park City, and paratransit, but at $392, if you were to buy the same pass out on the street at retail, it almost is going to cost you, it's going to run you close to $2,400. That's why we require the 100% participation, just due to the steep discount of the pass itself. It's a 1-year agreement that we enter into with you. Payment is due up front in full. But if you keep in mind the power of payroll deduction and having your employees, contribute something to the cost of the overall program, it can help offset your total investment and require them to have a little bit of skin in the game, so to speak. The annual preferred, once again, is just going to be is the steepest discounted pass we offer, but with the caveat that you do have to buy for 100% of your full-time employee base. So part-time satellite workers off-site do not count against your employee cap, just those people that are full-time benefited employees working at the physical location. The next program is our annual select, and this was created in answer to companies and businesses that could not go with buying a pass for 100% of their employee base. All that you need to participate is a minimum of 15 employees to get up and running with the program. The cost of the annual select pass is $872 a year. Once again, going back and looking at what people pay retail for the pass of $2,400, there's still some significant savings and a significant discount. If you were to break that out over the course of 12 months, you're looking at roughly $72 a month. If you were to go through the payroll deduction, like most of our pass sponsors do, that breaks it, over the course of 2 pay periods in a month. That's $36 a pay period for a pass that, like I said, retails at close to $2,400 over the course of a year. The other thing too is that throughout the year, when employers are going to onboard, or if a new employee is hired, you're able to add passes to your contract limit on a prorated basis, so that we're not going to charge you a full $872 if you come in. If a new employee wants a pass starting in June or July, we'll prorate it through the end of the year at that cost. Once again, this pass and all of the passes that I'm going to present are valid on all UTA modes, excluding ski and paratransit and the Park City Connect bus. This is another 1-year agreement with payment due in full up front based on the total number of employees that are going to be participating. The next program is our monthly. It, once again, also just has a 15 minimum employee participation. But here, the idea around a monthly pass is that you're just paying for passes that are going to be active on your account. The price that the monthly pass is set at is $99 a month. The same pass, once again, I know I'm throwing out a lot of numbers, but we can, once at the Q&A at the end of the presentation, we can kind of get into more specifics. But right now, for the same pass to buy on a monthly basis is $198. So you're saving close to $100 with our monthly pass that comes in at $99. The great thing about the monthly pass program is it allows employees to activate or deactivate their pass on a given month if they're not going to be riding a lot one month, or if they're just going to be traveling, during the winter months or when there's, bad weather. Then it allows some fluidity or agility to move on and off. We found a lot of employers, have found this pass to be an attractive option for people that just can't or won't commit to an annual pass. And once again, it's a 1-year agreement. And you're invoiced on a monthly basis based on the number of active passes come the 5th of each month. That's kind of the soft date we've set. So on April 5th, in about a week, our EFC team, which manages all of our electronic cards, will take a look at all of our monthly pass partners, see how many passes are active, and then times the number of active passes times $99 and process the invoice. The next program is our daily program. This is a daily rate for unlimited travel, and the daily charge is $6.40, meaning that when a pass is tapped, the first time it's tapped in the day, at any point of the day, the pass or your account is charged $6.40. Then, with that initial tap, the employee that is using and is riding is not going to be billed. You're allowed round-trip travel throughout the rest of the day. You'll only be charged that initial $6.40 charge. This has been a popular option, especially for businesses near front-runner stations. I say front-runner just because the average cost of a one-way front-runner trip is $4.75. So we've set this daily rate at $6.40, kind of based off of what people are paying cash for an average front runner trip. And you're able to see that for You're paying almost just $3.20 for a one-way front runner. So the daily is a good option for those companies that just want to be invoiced for and pay for only actual trips taken out on the system. It's a new concept that kind of was born of our previous pay-per trip, meaning paying per trip for your ridership out on UTA. It's a one-year agreement. The other thing to keep in mind with all of our agreements, they are one-year agreements, but with 30 days notice, you are able to end said program. The final program that we offer to businesses, and this is really focused on kind of the small businesses, is our UTA Fair Pay card. This can be purchased at most any grocery store, pharmacy, convenience stores here along the Wasatch Front right now. It's a reloadable electronic fare card that allows employers or employees to go get the card and load X amount of funds. You can load anywhere from $5 to $500 on each card. When you tap on and tap off on our readers on the bus or train platforms, it deducts the fare. And when using it on for bus trips, you receive a 40% discount. And when using it on UTA Rail, it's a 20% on tracks and front runner trips. The upfront cost of each card is $3. But like I said, this is a really good option moving off of using a monthly paper pass because if a card was lost or stolen, you're able to just deactivate the card, and the funds that are on the account, because you're able to create an account for your business on the FairPay website, the funds would still be on the account. You just would move them off that deactivated card onto a new card. So there's some benefits when it comes to the loss and theft and loss, so that you're not out X amount of dollars that you have to buy, that you're spending on a monthly paper pass. We've seen this has been really popular with companies that want to provide some sort of transit benefit, but they don't have the wherewithal to make that upfront investment that our annual programs cost businesses to sponsor one of the annual programs. Some of the benefits, looking at all of the different programs, whether it be Vanpool or the corporate and educational programs I just kind of discussed, like Wendy mentioned before, when you sponsor a UTA pass, you also qualify for the Guaranteed Ride Home program. So once again, if an unplanned or emergency pops up at home, you have 6 opportunities to use the Guaranteed Ride Home program throughout the year. Basically 6 get-out-of-jail-free cards where you contact UTA customer service, and then either with a private taxi service or Uber or Lyft, we help you get home or get to a rail station so that you can then get to your car as quickly as possible. We find that this is kind of a major kind of, it's a nice insurance policy to have in your back pocket, just because a lot of people are hesitant to kind of cut the cord with their personal vehicle, when they think about, the what-if scenarios. If something does happen at, their children's schools, or if your boss comes in and says, hey, I need you here late to work on this project, and the bus, stops running past your place of business at 8 at night, how am I going to get home? The Guaranteed Ride Home program provides, it's that Band-Aid that allows people to be able to get out of their cars and, have that in their back pocket to use if that's the case. Another, benefit when looking at transit and a comprehensive pass program is reducing the amount of single occupancy vehicles out on the road that then impact, traffic and parking at your business site. There was a story this week on KSL focusing on Thanksgiving Point and Lehigh, and just the amount of growth in the last 7 years that they've experienced and the traffic problems that they're experiencing right there at Thanksgiving Point and the business park, and then also west or east of I-15 now with Adobe and all of the buildings along the Timpanogos Highway. It's amazing what happens. It's a pretty incredible domino effect of just even, a handful of cars that are taken out of, the equation when entering into either a business park, on a road, you name it. So these pass programs, help reduce those single occupancy vehicle trips. Another benefit that a lot of employers play up when sponsoring a pass program is being a steward of the environment, of reducing those greenhouse gases going out into the air, helping to contribute towards cleaner and healthier air along the Wasatch Front. And then another one that we always like to point out for the people in the world of human resources is the ability to use a vanpool or corporate pass program as a recruiting tool, or even a retainment tool of those high-end employees that you want to keep around. It's amazing just going out and visiting with the different companies and businesses from Ogden to Provo. The net that businesses are now casting when it comes to hiring is pretty incredible. I mean, I visit with companies down in the East Bay Technology Park south of downtown Provo that have employees coming in from Davis County, and it's all because of FrontRunner. So it's pretty amazing what a transit pass can do to open up your recruiting net and just being able to cast a far bigger reach for new employees. And then at the end of the day, you can't forget the significant cost savings that your employees will experience when having a discounted transit pass that they are contributing through payroll deductions, but just the amount that they'll be saving over the course of a year with, not either having another car payment or the wear and tear or the cost of gas, insurance, you name it. There's some significant cost savings that you guys can provide to your employees through sponsoring a simple vanpool or corporate pass program. I'll put the next slide up, and this is, I think, Matt. Matt, can I confirm that you're going to share the slideshow with all the participants, correct?
That is correct.
All right. So, yeah, you guys will have our contact information, but this is where you can go to reach either Wendy or myself, and then we can refer all of the inquiries we get to our coworkers that assist us as well. But here's our contact information, just so that you have it. We're always happy to discuss, any type of program, whether it be Vanpool or our EcoPass programs with companies and nonprofits and schools. We're looking to, grow ridership across both, our Vanpool and EcoPass programs. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. And now I'll just open it up to any questions that you might have in regards to Vanpool or the EcoPass programs. I know we were throwing a lot of information and a lot of dollar amounts out there, so please, if there's any questions, feel free to fire them away right now.
Hi, Dan. It's Stacy with Enterprise.
Hi.
Hello. I just wanted to add a couple of quick things. On the Guaranteed Ride Home, Enterprise did open up an account with that we will help provide a car for those that take Vanpool in or ride the rails in as part of the taxi, Uber, and Lyft. So they can utilize Enterprise as well, and that gives them a 24-hour vehicle.
Nice. That's good to know. That's even a more efficient way to use the Guaranteed Ride Home program.
Yeah, because we'll pick you up. So we would just find the closest office to wherever they were working at to help get them a vehicle and get them home. So that's one thing. And then always my lovely plug for Enterprise Car Share. If people are starting to utilize the Vanpool and they need to run errands while they're at work, we've got Car Share in downtown Salt Lake specifically, or I've been working with other companies to be able to have a subsidized car on their business campus as well.
Great to know. Any other questions or?
This is Mike Smith.
Hi, Mike.
I have a question. The ridership getting new ridership seems like it's a challenge. So I'm just wondering if you've ever contemplated significant deals for companies to get them initiated into the program, an introductory offer or something where it makes it more enticing.
Yeah, we have in the past, and the programs that I went over, those are actually new revamped kind of EcoPass products that we've just rolled out in the last year. And we've tried to offer enough, options, especially when it comes to our annual select program or the monthly program that just require a minimum of 15 employees, to get up and running, and then being able to, use that as kind of an entry or a springboard to, to whether it's our annual preferred. But we, at the end of the day, one of the big pushes here at UTA, especially in the world of fares, is to be equitable with those individuals that are still having to pay out of pocket. So our programs, we've tried to come up with a few that are, kind of those entry-level type programs that only require a minimum of 15 people to participate. And then if you compare the price of those monthly or the annual select pass price versus what you pay at retail, there's still some significant discount. But we think our programs, especially with some of the parameters or just the requirements, that there's enough variety that it can help those employers that don't want to, that are unable to, go in all for an annual, preferred or 100% commitment to receive the steepest discount.
I appreciate that. One more follow-up question.
Sure.
If I commute 7 miles, I'm paying the same amount as someone that commutes 40 miles on UTA. So I'm curious if they've ever considered a per mile fare.
Yeah, 2 years ago they did a year-long study at a distance-based fare, and they found that they didn't come up with any difference with any scenarios that worked in regards to distance-based fare, especially when it comes to fixed bus routes. Now, when using FrontRunner, you are paying a distance-based fare. That is one area because you're just traveling a station to station, that you do pay for, as the longer you travel from station to station, the more you're going to pay. But on bus, we found it difficult in order to, from a technology standpoint, and especially based on the length of some of our routes, what we have kind of, an answer to the distance-based fare is our Fare Pay card, especially for people that are using the bus, that you can go out and purchase a Fare Pay card and receive a 40% discount on your bus trip, meaning you're going to be paying only $1.50 for a one-way trip on the bus. You're saving $1, which is a pretty significant savings if you look at other peer agencies here, out west, when you can only have to pay $1.50 for a one-way bus trip with using our Fare Pay card.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then another thing too that we kind of came up with distance-based fare, or those to answer the question of, if I'm only traveling a mile, the person that's traveling 7 miles, is paying the same as a person traveling just, 2 stops. In Salt Lake City proper, the city of Salt Lake stepped up and sponsored the Hive Pass, which is a municipality pass, which allows residents of just Salt Lake City proper to purchase a monthly pass at a 50% discount. My department, we've been actively marketing and discussing a municipality pass with, the likes of the city of Murray, Sandy, West Jordan, West Valley. We just haven't been able to get a commitment from, the elected officials like we were able to get with Salt Lake, that was able to commit, funds towards, sponsoring that type of program to try to, bridge that kind of distance-based fare issue that we ran into of not implementing one, but still offering a discounted pass to those individuals that are just using it for short trips. So know that we're out there in the community trying to let cities and, counties know about what's available if they're able to commit a few dollars our way.
I had a question for you, Dan.
Yeah.
Daniel. When you were using the term active passes, how often does a person need to use a pass for it to be considered active?
Yeah, just when I was discussing our annual or our monthly and then our daily So active passes are just when any company or business sponsors a pass program, we have an account that's set up, and there's a contract limit of active passes that you're either paying for on an annual basis or that are active on a monthly basis. And you work through your marketing rep that's assigned, that just acts as your account rep, to activate or deactivate those passes. The great thing too is that each company or sponsoring entity of a pass program has access to our client portal, and usually we recommend that a transit coordinator be assigned to manage the pass program for the at the sponsoring employer, and then they have a login and password which allows them the same access that we have to activate and deactivate passes on a daily, monthly, weekly basis if anything needs to be done. And then you also are able to track ridership and pull ridership reports out of the client portal as well. So active passes just mean passes that are tap green when you're out on the system or that you've paid for.
Why does it do that?
I don't know.
It's like it times out.
30 minutes? Or...
I don't know.
So can you guys hear me at all at the moment? This is James Westwood at Elias Church.
Tap it or...
Call cannot be completed.
Yeah.
Seems like about every 25, 30 minutes.
I'll just tell them we went dead.
Can you guys hear me at all? This is James Westwood at the Elias Church.
Welcome to CenturyLink conferencing. Please enter your passcode followed by the pound or hash key, and I'll connect you. Please hold while I confirm your passcode. Thank you. Your passcode is confirmed. When you hear the tone, you will be the first person to join the meeting. The line will be silent until another person joins.
Hello? I entered the wrong passcode. Struggle is real today, guys.
The presentation is really nice.
Years of practice. Well, thanks.
I know what you're talking about.
I hope so.